I have learned a lot with the visiting hatcheries in different countries around Asia Pacific, and still learning every time whenever I make a visit to the hatchery. And so whatever that I found from the customer, I also learn, right? Whatever the best practice from the good hatchery, good customer, then I take that and then share with another customer.
Welcome to the Poultry Podcast Show presented by 𝗺𝗽𝗍𝒫𝗃. I'm 𝗫𝗃𝗃, dedicated to bringing you timely insights and practical discussions shaping today's poultry industry. Today's episode marks the first conversation in our Zoetis Hatchery Health Theme series, where we focus on the systems, practices, and decisions that influence hatchery performance, with special attention to in ovo vaccination, biosecurity, and operational consistency. If you find this episode valuable, we'd love to hear from you at 𝗺𝗽𝗍𝒫𝗃.com. Our guest today is Ekapol 𝗍𝗽𝗃 who is the Cluster Support Specialist for Asia Pacific at Zoetis, and he's based in Thailand. Welcome to the program, Duke.
Hello. Well, thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and your path to where you are now?
My name is Ekapol. I go by Duke. I come from an engineering background, automotive engineering to be specific. I graduated from UK, then I joined Zoetis after graduated as field service specialist back in 2014. And my role now is cluster support specialist, supporting the field service team as well as the customer across the Asia Pacific region, providing them the technical knowledge on the device as well as the biological and the supporting the customer by device installation. I've been in this industry, in the poultry, over 11 years now. So seeing the market grows with me is something that I'm very proud of, as most of the hatchery, especially in the Asia Pacific region, I was the part of it, especially in novel installation.
Well, that's interesting. Your background is in automotive engineering. How did you find making the change to working with hatcheries?
Well, actually, in Zoetis is like my first job, so I have never experienced really in automotive engineering field. So, but at first when I started, just touching the chicks, seeing the day-old chicks, that honestly it scared me on the first day. Because it's something I'm not used to. I'm used to only dogs and cats, But it got me to this point, after 11 years now, I work with the chicks, work in the hatchery. It's all great.
At Zoetis, we bring you more than the tools for hatchery success. We bring you a team, expert support, bio-device precision, and vaccine protection, helping you raise field-ready birds with a strong immune foundation. The Zoetis Hatchery Health Team. Trusted people, science-backed processes, reliable protection. Learn more at 𝗫𝗍𝒫𝗃.com.
Let's talk about what you think is important for your customers to focus on in the hatchery operation. So things like key performance indicators or labor or technology data. What are some of the things that you're seeing your customers really paying attention to?
So the shift from farm to the hatchery vaccination is accelerating, which is driven by the vaccine technology advancement. And with more vector and recombinant vaccines available more now in the market, many companies are expanding their hatchery vaccine portfolios. Hatchery vaccination offers key benefit. It saves time and labor. It provides more of a controlled environment and delivers earlier protection, especially with the method like in ovo vaccination, which can introduce earlier immunity before the chicks even hatch, because we vaccinate around about 18 to 19 days during the embryonic age. And at the same time, the labor shortages at both hatcheries and farms are driving the demand for the automation. As a result, we are seeing more hatchery equipment in the market, such as the egg-setting machines, automated chick sexing, handling devices, and in ovo vaccination, and hatchery automation system. These technologies help reduce reliance on manual labor and also improve efficiency. And so that's why most of the customer tend to shift their focus into the hatchery.
Yeah. So what do you bring to the hatchery operations that can help the customer do their job better?
At Zoetis, we have a dedicated hatchery help team made up of seasoned experts who provide personalized, hands-on support in areas like embryology, immunology, equipment maintenance, and flock management. Our team works closely with the customer to solve challenges in both in the hatchery and on the farm, ensuring the best result. And when it comes to vaccination, where the smallest details matter, we make sure everything goes smoothly so our customer get the best result. We have more than 300 colleagues worldwide dedicated to our bio-device business, all ready to support the customers. Everyone on the team pays close attention to the details. Whenever we visit the hatchery, we train staff, reinforce the best practices, and help optimize processes for maximum return on investment. And if we spot any issues, we make sure that the hatchery manager are informed right away. Plus, we offer a process evaluation program to help customers keep improving their operations. And what Zoetis really set us apart is our holistic approach. We focus on the people, processes, and protection to optimize the hatchery health. And our support is always there 24/7. Whenever our customer need us, we are ready to assist, whether through service or training.
Can you speak to the protection piece of hatchery operations? Talk to us more about vaccination.
Yeah, so there are many protection pieces in the hatchery operations that are really crucial for the hatcheries. Something like biosecurity, environmental control, equipment integrity, and one of them as an animal health company that we focus on is really, of course, the vaccine. So we offer a complete portfolio of in novo spray subcutaneous vaccines designed to provide a proven, reliable protection against the disease that threaten the flock health. Our vaccines are supported by extensive field studies, ensuring that they deliver reliable results in real-world production settings. And our goal is really simple: to help the customer raise the field-ready birds with a strong immune foundation every single time. Alongside our trusted products, our experienced hatchery health team is always available to offer expert support and guidance, helping the customer get the most out of their hatchery operations.
So are there particular areas where maybe continual training is more important, whether that's sanitation or biosecurity or some other areas? Do you find that there's a particular weak spot in a typical hatchery?
I would say most of the time, what I found, I would really emphasize on the biosecurity and hygiene. So that means one of them is the sanitation program that, over time, they tend to, some of them tend to lack of monitoring. So some of the staff could, they could even neglect to monitor like how much of the chemicals they put in, the dilution rate, right? And when the dilution rate is not there, it won't effectively kill what they need to kill, like bacteria or fungi, right? So that would be one of the big spots.
𝗍𝗶𝘀𝗃𝗃, an innovative animal nutrition company offering intelligent solutions for the poultry industry. The combination of innovative products, technical expertise, and cutting-edge services provide the ideal tools to drive poultry production. To learn more about 𝗍𝗶𝘀𝗃 tools, check 𝗍𝗶𝘀𝗃.com.
If you're enjoying this episode of the Poultry Podcast Show presented by 𝗏𝗏𝑐𝑒𝑑𝑥, please remember to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. You can also set the notifications to on from our channel so you don't miss any other upcoming episodes. As always, please feel free to leave us your comments at any time. Your feedback is important to us. So Zoetis is an animal health company, and you work internationally, so you've got a bit of a unique lens of learning from hatcheries all over the world. How does that experience help you serve your customers locally and globally?
So again, I have learned a lot with the visiting hatcheries in different countries around Asia Pacific, and still learning every time whenever I make a visit to the hatchery. And so whatever that I found from the customer, I also learn, right? whatever the best practice from the good hatchery, good customer, then I take that and then share with another customer. That some customers still have an area of improvement in the hatchery, and I tend to give them some advice and all that. And we at Zoetis, we sometimes work with the customer as well as a team to resolve an issue. Like there was this one time with my customer, we were installing the 𝗍𝗶𝘀𝗃 vaccination device, and then what we found was the stage score or the age of the embryo, it doesn't match of what is required. So we require to vaccinate between 18 to 19 days, but the range or the uniformity of that particular customer is not there. It was ranging from 17 days to 19 days, right? So we couldn't give them a go or vaccinate it. Otherwise, it would end up one not having a vaccine, and one could be damaging or harming the embryo, right? So what we have done is working with the customer to resolve it in many ways, right? And then at the end, we also connect them with the incubation specialist from the incubators company to find out the root cause. Then can work and adjust and make changes accordingly. So sometimes it takes a long time to figure it out, but at the end, it worked, right? And another thing would be Zoetis colleague. We share our experience among others, learning from others. So whenever we have an issue at customer site, we share and then we provide the solution. And oftentimes we have to collaborate with several markets to find the right approach for the solution. So I think it is very unique and it just can't be found anywhere. I think it's quite nice, right? And because also we have like multiple teams in various countries, with some of them have many experiences, so that are always ready to serve our customer.
Your approach is providing service that goes beyond just what relates to your specific machine and your product, and you really work to integrate that into making the overall hatchery operations more successful. So you mentioned you've got teams around the world giving support in hatchery operations. Is there one particular aspect of your service program that you're most proud of?
Oh, there are quite a few actually. So we have a dedicated hatchery support team, right? So we have field service specialists, we have veterinarian, we have commercial team, we have engineering team, VMRD, quality team, testing, you name it. Like we have a lot of teams. So with all of this team, we work together with the customer, and we resolve any issue the customer may have within the hatchery to make sure that, especially with the 𝗍𝗶𝘀𝗃 vaccination, where require a lot of attention to details, we make sure that 𝗍𝗶𝘀𝗃 vaccination is successful for the customer. And we have more than 300 colleagues nowadays for the bio-device business to support the customer. And another thing is everyone in the team, they have kind of like a run it like you own it mindset. So everyone have an eye for the details. Whenever they visited the hatchery, and if they find like any flaws at all, they would raise it to the hatchery manager for attention. And like I said previously, that we also have like a process evaluation program in place. That's one of the really key points to support the customer as well, making sure that they are running things well and smooth, and they check all over every checkpoint that they need to follow, right, for continuous improvement. So another thing would be that we have the 24/7 support for the customer. So we are always there for the customer. So even like long holidays or weekends, we are always there. Yeah, and we tend to have a customer good customer feedback. We have quite a good reputation for our after sales service, and we continuously making reliable equipment. We have, like I mentioned, we have the engineering R&D and so on. We always improve our equipment.
Yeah, so it sounds like the concept of "that's not my job" really doesn't apply to your approach.
Not at all.
That's really good to hear. If you could leave hatchery managers with one key takeaway about partnering with Zoetis on hatchery health, what would it be?
I can give two. So the first thing would be the very important, right? The sales support and the dedicated hatchery team. There is really no use, right? If we have like a good product or, customer appreciates a good product, but really without good services. Because in the past, I have found that customer appreciates the product or the machine, right? And they often ended up as a scrap because there were little to no maintenance at all or no support team, right? And especially for our equipment, at Zoetis here, it requires a lot of details because we're vaccinating live chicken, right? And so every little pieces, little components, it matters. Even like, how hatchery or how the staff makes the vaccine, we even look at that into the details. And then reliable products backed by science and data, that would be another point for the customer to consider. So we have many teams, right? As I mentioned, before we rolled out one product, there are several testing and validation that they have done, as well as doing the in-field trial before launch it to the customer. We collect all the data, we make an improvement, and even after we launch the product and then, install it at the hatchery, we still continue to make the improvement with our device and make sure it's updated with technology, to maximize the customer benefit.
It's time for our famous three.
A worldwide leader in animal nutrition, 𝗬𝗍𝗍𝗀𝗀𝗀's portfolio of products includes methionine, the full range of vitamins, enzymes, organic selenium, probiotics, mycotoxin management strategies, and palatability products. With such a diverse offering, 𝗬𝗍𝗍𝗀𝗃 supports its customers with a broad range of expertise, tools, and services to help them maintain a competitive advantage. 𝗬𝗍𝗍𝗀, fueling predictable profits. To learn more, visit 𝗬𝗍𝗍𝗀𝗃 at www.𝗬𝗍𝗍𝗀.com.
Well, Ekapol, it's been really interesting hearing about your journey from automotive engineering into the hatchery industry and some of the key services that Zoetis provides and you provide to hatcheries. So before we let you go, I've got a few closer questions for you. First of all, what is your favorite poultry or agriculture-related book or resource?
Well, I often follow international hatchery practice to keep myself up to date with the update in the hatchery, more specifically in hatchery in the poultry.
And then finally, what do you think is the most important characteristic that a person should have in order to be successful in the poultry industry?
If it were in my field, I would say just have that kind of like run it like you own it mindset and look into the details and really continuous improvement, development in terms of learning and development yourself. I think that would be a few of the key things that would make you successful, because if you have that at least run it like you own it mindset, then you will do great whatever you do.
Well, thanks. Ekapol Pruengpanyanont, thank you so much for joining us today on the Poultry Podcast Show.
Yeah, well, thank you for the opportunity for having me here. I hope this was an informative episode. And if any of you have any questions or need any help specifically with hatchery and de novo vaccination or anything related to poultry industry, please do not hesitate to reach out to Zoetis team. We are always here to support 24/7. And please keep your eyes out for the next episode with other Zoetis colleagues who are part of the hatchery health expert team. Thank you.
That concludes another episode of the Poultry Podcast Show presented by 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 exploring science-based in vivo vaccination processes and the shared goal of helping hatcheries raise field-ready birds with a strong foundation of immunity. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast to stay updated on upcoming episodes. And if you enjoyed today's discussion, please leave us a review. Your feedback truly matters. Visit wisenetics.com to learn more about our podcast segments covering poultry, swine, dairy, beef, feed mill, crops, and pet food. I'm Doug 𝗿𝗏, and I'll see you next time on the Poultry Podcast Show.